Tire popped, bounced around, and kept rolling in. We both thought we were dying.
If it's something stupid that makes us DNF, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Any class 11 stories?
Class 11 stories? I mean, there's like 8 stories every lap.
So yeah, one of our other really recent memories was from this last Mint 400. If anyone's ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, that's like the OG race that they used to do on the dirt bikes and stuff. And it's really cool that they brought that back. We had like 300 something miles. I can't even remember because it was so, it was crazy though. Every lap we're just like, there's just something that happens like.
We are bonsaiing and a razor kind of comes up behind us, and all of a sudden there is like a little wash road that comes through like the course, and I try to move over and it's gravy, 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 and then boom, like a 2-foot ledge. I thought we were corkscrewing, but we landed, the back tire popped, bounced around, and kept rolling in. We both thought we were dying. He said he closed his eyes immediately on impact, and I'm just like holding on with the death grip, staring, no power steering, like shit.
The cars are they work really well, but they're kind of unforgiving if you hit something just a little bit wrong, like timing wise, and if it'll kick it up on the side and the wheels, and we'll be on like driving, looking at the ground for a second, turn back into it, like all kinds of crazy stuff like that happens pretty much every lap when you're trying to push hard for a win.
Shortly after that, the front right beam broke.
We start hearing this freaking noise in the front end, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on with this noise. Like, I think we should stop and check it out. And he's like, no, dude, we don't have any tools. We're not fucking stopping. We're going. It's kind of funny because I actually got kind of pissed at him on that last lap because I wanted to check out the car. I'm like, dude, we've come all this way. If it's something stupid that makes us DNF, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, you put me through this all day. Like, we gotta finish this damn race. So
the shock tower broke. The shock was still attached. It's blowing through the wheel well and the fender, shooting sparks, and we're like close to pit. And I'm like, we'll just get to pit so we don't have to pull tools and all this other stuff.
And I finally got to look at the car when I got out. I'm like, yep, the shocks broke off. It's flopping in the wheel well, just destroying everything. Like, we're like, whatever, we don't have any tools, we're just gonna run it. So we had probably like 20, 30 miles to the next pit, so we just kind of limped it to the pit.
We get to pit, they take it off, we keep going, like 74, the silty uphill, we break first gear. We're stuck on the side of this hill. We couldn't see at parts like before first gear broke, we literally had to go stop. And then we tried like rolling to get out of it, and we sat there for like 3 minutes like, please, baby Jesus, don't like let some other big 1400 truck just come and blow through us. So
first 2 laps, no problem. We went right up it. 3rd lap, it started to kind of bog down, like the tracks shoot up and it gets all soft, and yeah, it just goes to crap. So we get halfway up the hill. Wasn't even really on it that hard in first gear, and the thing just goes, it spins out, like the gear just shreds its first gear, and we're like, oh shit. What are we gonna do? We're on the middle of a hill like this. Like, we're stuck. Like, I don't know, put it in second, try to kick the clutch.
We try to clutch kick the crap out of second, not working, melt the clutch together, get towed up the hill like 30 minutes later, bump start the car in second with the clutch locked out.
We were able to radio for help. Someone had come back on the radio, and they were like, oh, we're down the hill, we're coming right now. The truck came up with 2 chicks in it, they hooked us up, pulled us to the top. We're like, yeah, let's go. We bump started down the hill and just got on our way.
We're rolling, we're taking corners through bushes on the insides or going way outside if there's like a fence line or something that makes a corner, whatever it took, dude.
From that point on, it was just like, we only have second gear to use, basically. We got to keep our momentum. So I tried to call out all the tight turns like really far in advance, like, all right, we're gonna have to swing out wide and cut across the bushes, like just to keep our momentum up, because yeah, if the car died, we'd have been screwed. The clutch was gone, we wouldn't be able to start it again probably, so we just had to keep it going to the finish line.
The clutch starts to free up, luckily, because there were several times where it took about 30 clutch kicks to get around a corner because you're running stock gear, and with a big tire, second gear is really tall, 4th gear is not even there. We get kind of like closer and we get into like the infield and stuff, and we're like, shit.
There was a couple of times where we were in the infield, like I think probably like 2 miles from the finish line, we were trying to go around like the soft turns, and the car just like, Blake's just clutch kicking the back, the hell out of it just to get it going again. Like 10 clutch kicks later, it starts to get up to speed, and the RPMs, we're like, ah! We're just yelling and cheering, like, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make it.
When we crossed that finish line with all the hurdles that we had,
We made it all happen, like it worked out, and we still, I think we pulled off a third because of a penalty or something. We're a little bummed about not getting the win after everything that we went through, but our teammate was the one that they held it down, so it works for everybody. It was a win for everybody, so awesome race, and can't wait to do the next one.
these Class 11 dudes, they are through thick and thin like the baddest dudes in the desert, the rawest, most giving, like share parts, information, tune, setup, you know, even with newcomers, there's no secrets that we don't hide or at least try to help, you know, maybe a couple secrets, but for the most part, we'll make sure that everybody's car, the best of our ability. If our setups are dialed, we want everyone else to have a good, clean race and get across that finish line and have a fighting chance. So the Class 11 stuff is probably going to be my most memorable, fun, on the edge stuff to date. But now with Jaws coming into play, if we run into those similar situations where we're hitting ledges and damn near barrel rolling, it's going to be a little bit different thought process, because it'll probably be like, I'm bankrupt and we might die even more because our speeds are tripled, if not more. But we'll have to continue those stories another time.
What does racing mean to you?
What does racing mean to me? You know, it used to be more of just a hobby and something that I thought was really cool. Like that's something fun. Like when I worked at Fiberworks, I was kind of like, I'd go along on the races, and it became kind of just part of my life, I guess. Is what it evolved into. Is we've always been so into off-road cars. It starts as a hobby, and then it progresses to the point where like this is now what we're doing every day, and this is our passion, and what really drives us to do this stuff is to go racing. So yeah, I think racing is it's a passion for us. That's what it really comes down to.
Racing to me is like the ultimate challenge to yourself and other elite athletes. I mean, everybody's got their niches, their cars, their setups. And for me, it was early on with motocross, and I think that exhilarating feeling of 40 other riders at, you know, national races and whatnot, lined up on the line, all shooting for that inside corner hole shot, was just like euphoria that is undescribable, because the adrenaline, you know, it's like being in a straight up fight, you know, but with man and machine, and raw talent and skill, and you know, carrying that into the off-road world. The racing aspect is something that I always wanted to do. I was kind of known for like a show pony that would do wheelies and cool content and just vibe with the people and have fun, be kooky, you know, shotgun a beer with you and hang out, and allow people to kind of gravitate towards that. And that turned into like a way that I was able to extract partners and then bring that into the racing scene. It's that challenge and that like trying to move up through the ladder, but I wanted to prove it in the lowest tier bug before going to the top tier with a bug. Kind of had the wind under our sails, and just, yeah, we're hopefully gonna keep taking off, but right now we're building some solid steam.
Every time we climb in our cars and pull our belts tight, new memories and stories are created. We are on a mission to bring these stories to light, both for our community and for those outside off-road to understand the allure. So please help us in sharing these stories.